Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production. Today I'm going to show you how you can use MGranular to create a cool effect with your drums. I'm going to use this with just a drum loop, but of course this might even sound better with individual drums if you put it just on your snare or just on your hi-hats, etc. But it should give a interesting texture that you can't get another way. So let's get started. I'll bypass this so we can hear the drum loop first. Okay, so just a basic drum loop. Oh, still making sounds. Anyways, what we're going to do here is go into the edit screen, and I'm going to go into the default preset or maybe empty preset. I just basically, or actually I have something called blank preset here. Hopefully that's not in there. When you start it, you want it to look like this. We want the dry wet all the way up. Crossfade, I think it defaults to 0. I'm going to right click it and make it default to 100% here. Grain size and everything else we'll worry about later. Whenever you're doing things with this, it can get a little bit loud, so I'm going to bring this output down, and then we'll adjust it later. So if we play it now, it's not going to sound any different. Same thing. First thing I want to do is I want to make copies. Let's try 8. You can do more or less, depending on what you need. Now, at first when you play this, it's just going to sound the exact same, just louder. You're probably thinking like, okay, why does it sound just louder? And that's because you have 8 of the same thing playing at the exact same time. So what I want to do is we have the 50 for a grain size here. That's fine. But I want to spread out these copies so they're not all playing at the same time. We want to set the max copy delay. So we'll just move this up. We'll use like an arbitrary value. Let's put it there like this. And now let's hear how it sounds. So that's sounding good to me already. I actually kind of like that. And we can mess with this max copy delay, and this will give us different sounds. If you move it down so it's faster, it'll even get like tonal effects like this. And so you can adjust that however you like. Another thing you can do is, if you don't want it to sound exactly like a tone like this, if we change the copy delay random, that will get rid of some of that tonal quality like this. So that can be something you can use there. Now, if we listen to it here, let's turn the wet dry down. Maybe you want to hear some of the dry signal as well, like this. That sounds okay, but it's not really in time. So if we move this around, you'll hear. And that's not good. But what we can do is we can actually get this to sync a little bit better by using this max copy delay and just syncing it to our tempo. So just double click it here and you see these different values. So let's try 16th notes here. Play. So that's a way to get it into tempo. If you still feel it's a little bit off, it may be because of the grain size. So just subtract the grain size from this value. So I guess, was it 164? Maybe this will be a little bit better. But of course, this changed your pitch, and you may not like that. So we can use this pitch knob here to change it to something that might seem better for your project. So by doing that, you can get whatever sound you want here. We can also increase or decrease the grain size, and that can do some things like this. Personally, I think 50 sounds good for this type of material, but play with it to see what sounds good for you. We can also do things with the pan. That's fairly simple, but I think pan random really makes a difference. Now everything is just in mono, but pan random will spread it out to the sides like this. So I think that's something else you can play with and really have fun with. And the last thing is this randomness here. Now, I probably wouldn't use this for the wet dry, but if we have the wet at 100% and we play with the randomness, this will make it sound like almost like a real glitch effect that's not in time with anything. So as you hear, that really changes things a lot. Now, if you use it with the wet dry, it's maybe not as good, I think, but maybe you do want that effect. So let's hear it. Maybe that is what you want. So there's a lot you can do there. And of course, you have these modulators in here. You can kind of modulate things and move them around however you like. So let me see if I mess with the pitch in here just a bit and see what this sounds like. Let's put this on random and see how it goes. So I think this really kind of transformed things and made it much more interesting. So just by doing a little bit of that, you can make things a lot more interesting and give it fun and new texture. Of course, I use this on the whole loop, but sometimes you think, maybe I don't want this on everything. You can just put it on the snare or maybe your hi-hats or something, just to give them a little bit of that, I don't know, texture, I guess. But hopefully you like this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below, and be sure to check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.